Hey, what's up everyone? Rufio here. Today we have a different type of video we're going to be going over. It's going to be a comparison video between two new MMOs, Crowfall and New World. So all I'm going to be doing is just going over what are some of the differences, what's similar, and that's pretty much it. So to start off, just a disclaimer, this is Crowfall or ArtCraft Entertainment. They are not directing or attempting to influence this content. This is my point of view, my opinions on the two games, and that's it. So to begin, we're going to go over a general description of each MMO. So both of them are MMO RPGs. Crowfall has launched here in July 2021, and New World will be launching in August of 2021. So both of them releasing this year in 2021. Crowfall is developed by ArtCraft Entertainment starting in around roughly 2015. New World is developed by Amazon Game Studios starting roughly 2016. Crowfall has its own launcher, and New World is using the Steam launcher. Both are $40 to start with the base packages. However, with Crowfall, just a shameless plug here, if you do use code Rufio, you get 10% off, making your base package $35. So New World also $40. So that's base prices for both of the games. Now, as far as character creation, Crowfall does have a lot of races. I believe there are 12 races that you can have in the game, and there are tons of different classes and subclasses between all the different races and combinations. So there's a lot of combinations you can make with your character. As far as New World goes, New World has one race. However, there are a lot of weapon masteries and sub-masteries to kind of customize your build and how you want to play your character. So when you get into character creation, appearance, Crowfall, the current state of the game, there's not a lot of customization. There's some hair color changes, some styles, beards, different colors like that, different styles, and then skin colors, depending on your races. So with New World, you have, you only have that one race, but however, the customization, you can change it, modify it to whatever. Like, there's a ton of different ways to change the customization of your appearance of your character. So now onto graphics and performance. Crowfall, it has a different type of art style. It's more of like an arcadey type art style. I personally have grown to really actually like this art style over time, and it's great. I think it's awesome. New World has more of like a realistic 1600s year style, so it's definitely more realistic looking, I guess you could say, for a video game. And then the performance, as far as that goes, in open world stuff, I maintain well over 60 FPS, and in the current state of Crowfall. And for large scale, that however is a little bit rough for performance, but they're actively working on improving that and doing a great job with that. As for New World, it is a lot more detailed worlds. The game just looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The performance is amazing in New World, and yeah, that's kind of it for the performance graphics. Now onto combat. Both are live action. There's no tab targeting like you've seen in previous MMOs. They are both live action combat. So for PvP, Crowfall is open world PvP. New World is also open world PvP. Crowfall has faction worlds and guild versus guild PvP worlds. So they have these different worlds that you can go into, and each one will have different rule sets, and the worlds are all unique. So it keeps it kind of fresh. At the end of they have these timed worlds that you go in, and there's different seasons within the world. And at the end of the campaign, those worlds die, and new campaigns start with new worlds that are all unique. So it keeps it really fresh, keeps the gameplay active, and it's pretty cool. So as for New World, it's open world. There's servers that you can pick and choose from based off population, wherever you want. There's filters for those. It's all faction based. There's territory wars going on, and there are fort sieges also. But one of the big differences is that you can also choose to be flagged for PvP or not PvP. In Crowfall, there's no flagged PvP stuff like that. It's all open world PvP. They do have a new player experience area that's safe, and a couple other, very few locations that are non-PvP enabled. So Crowfall also has the castle, keep, fort sieges, and the PvP also just has a lot of value to it because they have inventory loot drop, and when you kill somebody, you can take whatever's in the inventory. So when you're out roaming in the open world, you kill somebody, and they've been farming gold or resources, you can take it. And so the PvP has a lot of value in Crowfall. As for PvE, there are open world mob camps out in the world for Crowfall. There's group solo bosses, raid bosses, and they drop a bunch of like high-end gear. So, and then you have the new player experience, which is like from level 1 to 30, which It'll help teach you the game. That's a lot of PvE, a little bit of some questing, very minor amount. And then for New World PvE, it's open world also. There's tons of questing, huge grinding for quests. And then you have dungeons, battlegrounds, invasion, stuff like that. So the PvE, there's a lot more content with PvE for New World. And then Crowfall, it's more focused towards PvP. Now onto crafting. Crafting has active training. There's no passive training with Crowfall's crafting. The more you craft, you have chances of getting, better and better crafters. You have your people out gathering resources. They turn them into the crafters. They craft items for you, and typically your crafted gear is always going to be better than your dropped gear. Especially not the end game. As you start to get your crafters going, they get better and better stuff, which will have much better stuff than dropped gear from mobs. Now for New World, gathering, crafting, it's kind of the same thing. You gather a bunch of resources, you have crafters. The biggest thing about New World crafting is it's not as required as Crowfall. You can get dungeons going and you get a lot of good gear from dungeons, so you don't have to craft if you don't want to, but if you do want to craft, you totally can, and it can be just as good as the dungeon stuff. So the value for crafting in New World versus Crowfall, I'd say Crowfall has a lot more higher value for crafters because they're always going to be needed in the game. So now on to end game. Crowfall, you level up from 1 to 30 through like the new player experience. It's pretty simple to get to your soft cap of level 30. And then when you start getting to the higher levels, that's where you get vessels, upgraded bodies, where you get higher end stats and higher end gear. That's where your crafters are super important to get, like legendary items. You have the different gear tiers, your legendary, epic, rare, uncommon, common, all that kind of stuff. So your weapons gear, all that stuff is extremely important in the end game, where it leads to your big sieges, your castle fights, your forts and keep fights. The large scale sieges, the castles and keeps and forts, and as you take over those, you gain points. And if you're at the very end of the campaigns in these PvP worlds, if you are at the top place, you get some really cool rewards that help you become even bigger and stronger. And so, and then for New World, you get to level 60. That's your max level. They have the territory wars going on, and you can keep grinding dungeons for bigger and better gear, looking for that rare gear. And that's pretty much it for like the end game. You really just keep going hard in Crowfall to get to level 35. That's your cap, and keep working on getting better resources with your harvesters to turn into your crafters, which will start making the best gear possible. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the comparison between New World and Crowfall. I honestly love both games. I've been playing for a long time. I will continue to play both games. Some more than others, but really this video is just more of a comparison of what's the difference and what's similar. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you sticking it out to the end, and make sure to check out my Twitch channel on twitch.tv/Rufio. I stream both Crowfall, and then also I'll be streaming New World when that launches. So thanks for watching.